Now, I'm never going back to the one campaign CBO structure ever again, and here's why. Now, basically everybody adopted, or most people said like, oh, you need to run a simplified account. That's the way to win with Facebook ads. And you couldn't be more wrong, to be honest. I really don't like the method, and in this video I'm going to be explaining why I really disagree with having only one campaign CBO set up right now in 2025 for Facebook ads. Now, obviously everybody got recommended the simplified account structure by Meta, and to be honest, I'm seeing so many brands scaling from 7 to 8 to 9-figure brands with a more complicated ad account structure. Now, at our agency, we found a better structure, and in this video I'm about to show you what this structure is, what results we're getting with that, and how you can do the same for your brand as well. But I want to say every brand is different, so please take this with a grain of salt, as there are definitely multiple things that could work, and there is no one method and one size fits all approach when it comes to like Facebook ads. Now, if you don't know me, my name is Dennis and I run an e-commerce growth agency where we help 7, 8, and 9-figure brands scale via Meta, TikTok, Snapchat ads, and high performing creative. We spent over 50 million so far in the last 5.5 years, and we generated over 150 million for all of our clients, and we're working actively with around 50 brands at the moment. So I think I know a thing or two about like running Meta ads right now. Now, I've prepared a short little presentation right now, so let's head into the presentation right now. And I'm about to show you how we're running Facebook ads in going into 2025 and how we've seen massive success also in Q4 of 2024. So here we go, ABO versus CBO versus ASC. What's best? The 2025 guide. I'm be walking you through like how I see Meta ads in 2025 and how you can have a best optimized structure for your brand. What are you doing? 6, 7, 8, 9 figures? I think this would be the best way to run Meta ads in going into 2025. So the old way, like testing interest audiences with ad sets settings, is really the old way of doing things, and it will not work anymore. Obviously, we still use interest from now and then, but it's really not carrying any like significant performance. Like it's only like a certain like period when we do it, and that's only when like we want to target like a very, very specific new audience. Like we have a brand selling jeans, and right now they want to target a customer that buys hoodies. Like that's a complete, or could be a complete different audience. Or for example, you want to target a different gender in the same ad account. Sometimes you might need to force Facebook to learn a bit more about your audience by forcing them away into that new audience. But other than that, 95 to 99% just go broad and not mess with any of the ad set settings. Meta knows best who to target. Your audience, you don't want to cap it as well, as obviously you want to reach the biggest amount as possible, and you want to give Meta the freedom to reach whatever your creative will do for you with in terms of like targeting, because your creative will do the targeting. And that's really the core principle that I'm trying to bring across to you today, that you don't really like need to spend your like headspace or all of your efforts, because you can only make so many decisions every single day. Focus on the higher leverage stuff, which is like your creatives. And if you can make sure that your creative will resonate to your audience, then of course you will have success with Facebook ads, because in the end, it is very simple. It's human psychology. And with your human psychology, you want to make sure that you're targeting different personas, you're targeting the right awareness levels with your ads. And that's really the key to finding success with your Facebook ads. And to be honest, like this video, what I'm talking about here with ABO versus CBO versus ASC, like it's all secondary towards your creative, because your creative is the most important lever that you have as a brand or a creative partner towards any brand. And with that being said, focus on the creative and then focus on the stuff I'm talking about in this video. So that being said, most brands really are not testing enough creatives as well, because ultimately you want to look at your spend, and I will drop a calculator below where you can calculate the amount of creatives that you should test on your budget. So with the link below, you can access that. So be sure to get that one so you can have a rough estimation of how many creatives you should be testing based on your budget. But most brands are really not testing enough creatives. You want to give Meta enough room, and as you scale your budget, you will be able to test more creatives, or you need to be testing more creatives, because your budget will increase. Also, you have a certain percentage of like new ads to be tested, and of course your evergreen ads. And With that being said, like your testing budget will obviously increase as your overall budget will also increase if you're scaling. And also like one mistake that I see happening is like people are relying on one method. Having one CBO, obviously things could still work if you do the first things really like right. If you have the right creatives, obviously a single campaign structure can really crush it for you. I'm not throwing any shade on anybody that's like promoting like a one CBO or one campaign setup, but I really want to bring across that like what we see working right now. And also, of course, the most important part, which is creative and making sure that your creative will resonate to your audience and hits the right awareness levels as well. So that being said, like which campaign type is best? You have your ABO, you have your CBO, you have your ASC plus, and you have, of course, cost caps. To be honest, we use them all. We work with around 50 brands actively at any point. And we utilize all of these methods. So let's start with the first one, ABO. It gives you a lot of control on your creative test. And this is really something that we start to adopt a lot more because we used to test more in like a CBO and we started to see like we had some winners in our control ad set and then we dropped in new creatives in a new ad set and the other ones didn't get any spend. Obviously, we still use it and then we drop in a minimum spend towards each ad set. But to be honest, myself and most of my team, we usually prefer ABO for testing because that way if you have a proven account and your account is spending 5-6 figures a day, then obviously you'll be able to test creatives quickly, and ABO really gives you that freedom to put some budget behind each test. But obviously sometimes we also drop them in a CBO and then we drop in a minimum spend so each creative will get some spending and we can see which ones are the winner. But usually what we'll do, we'll grab an ABO, we'll throw in our creative test. And of course, we'll have our CBO or even also an ASC for scaling. And then we also tend to layer in cost caps on top of that. And especially in periods where the demand is really low in terms of like Facebook ads, for example, I'm recording this on first Christmas Day. People are not really in the intent of buying, like they already got all their gifts. Then cost caps might really come into play because the buying intent is low. And you're saying to Facebook, I only want to get purchases if you can match this target CPA. So that's really how we're doing that, because you want to, of course, be very efficient. You want to hit your targets from like a net profit perspective, from a ROAS and CPA perspective. And like really an ASC and also an ABO or a CBO with cost caps can really help you doing that. And also sometimes what we'll do as well is have a ASC with a cost cap as well to further scale up the budget. That really helps for us as well. So I would say main method is ABO for testing. Then on some accounts, we do a CBO with minimum budget, but we don't really run a lot of like CBOs and no minimum budgets because we tend to see like the spend being skewed towards like one set of creatives, which are like the old winners with all the post ID. They've got tons of engagement, and it's not really fair, in my opinion, to drop in new creatives and then let them compete with like a previous winner, because 9 times out of 10, the previous winner will always get the spend. And to be honest, like usually you want to keep those on. They have a solid effect on like your overall revenue, but if you're really starting to see things dwindle, then you might want to kill them and reactivate them again later. So that's kind of like our approach, and I want to see some results, or I want to show some results. And to be honest, like we manage like 50 accounts right now, roughly, and every ad account is always different. So for example, for this one, the ROAS seems very low, but this client is really profitable. Last 30 days, you can see we spent roughly like 200K, 150K, something like that. And you can see like what we're doing right here. We have an ABO for US and Canada. We have a small retargeting even with interest stack. Don't blame me there, but it's really working well. As you can see right here, spent 25K. We have an ASC with a cost cap of $9. You can see here. And we have a CBO for US, Canada. And I think this one has a cost cap as well, spending very little. But like the main spender right here, 112K is towards our ABO, and there we're testing all of the creatives, and then we're dropping them also in the other campaign as well, which is the ASC campaign. And yeah, to be honest, we're just testing it and just increasing the budgets if we're seeing good results in the ABO, and then scaling those up as we go. Right here as well, another account, we have an ABO which spent like the last 30 days 534,000, so $500,000 in 30 days on the ABO. Also ABO retargeting campaign, not really spend a lot, but it is getting good results. And we also have an ASC as well to scale the winners up. And also we have this CBO with a T ROAS, which is performing like the best actually. has the best ROAS, has the best NC ROAS. But as you can see right here, ABO is really crushing it for us, just having multiple tests and scaling those up as we go. So no fancy setup there. Relatively simple, to be honest, like 4 campaigns only. And this is just one product right here. And it's very simple. So yeah, that's roughly how we see meta ads developing. And I want to stress again, focus on your freaking creatives. Like everything what I'm telling you right here is very secondary. And you want to focus on your creative inputs. Like be sure to not waste any of your valuable time on sitting in the ad account trying like, oh, can I change things here? Can I try different settings? Can I try stories in reel placement only? Can I try feed placements only? Put everything on auto and focus your time on finding new ad angles. Focus on research, focus on understanding your customer better. And every day spend 20-30 minutes understanding your customer, and you're able to generate 3 to 5 more ad angles every single week. And I'm not talking about like spending time on Atria or on Foreplay to look into like competitors. I'm really talking about spending time with your customer reviews, and really understanding their core desires. Why would they buy from your brand, and what's their core desire and what they're trying to solve. So that's roughly it. I hope you like this video about our meta account structure and how we run things at our agency. If you want us to do this for you, help you manage your ads, create the ads, and of course on a weekly basis make sure that we're pushing the needle forward like we're doing right here, spending up to like over 500k in a single month for this client. If you want to be our next success story, then please check the link in the description below and we can book a call. You must be spending at least between 25 to 50k per month already, or more of course, to be qualifying to work with us. So please check that below. If you qualify, please book a call with myself. You'll get a chance to speak with myself and we can see if it's a good fit. So that being said, if you enjoyed the video, please drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'm seeing you in the next one.